How to find the perfect job for you. Find your passion and work on it. In today's video, I'd like to talk about how to find the perfect career for you. We've all felt that pressure to find the perfect career, to specialize when we're not yet mature enough, and to relentlessly pursue that famous passion. But today, I want to debunk all the lies we've been told about the job market and present a practical guide to finding the perfect job for you, considering your profile and aspirations. Let's start with the first step. Follow your passion. The worst advice ever given. Humanity is living in the most comfortable period in its history. Since we no longer fear for our lives, survival, or nutrition, we now worry about things like our passion, purpose, or the impact we can have on humanity. As you can see in this graph, it is interesting that the term pursue your passion has skyrocketed in Google searches in recent years as our lives have been more and more comfortable. What's the problem? The problem is that with so much freedom, comfort, and pleasure, we can fall into the trap of the paradox of choice. This phenomenon, scientifically demonstrated by this study, shows that humans prefer to have fewer options than many. Why? Because when we have a wide variety of options and choose one, there's always that possibility that we'll feel regret or unhappiness just by thinking that choosing another option would have been much better or would have given us a better experience. Therefore, it's better to have very few options, and now we are more unhappy than ever. The problem is that pursuing your passion is the worst advice ever given. And why is that? Firstly, passion is discovered through experience. You cannot pursue your passion if you haven't tried many things, if you haven't had many experiences, if you haven't been able to develop your interest. It's impossible to find it right out of school. Secondly, a passion that becomes your job stops being your passion. Like in any job, you'll be forced to do things you don't like, and even doing your passion daily, you'll want to escape. This happens to many actors or artists. Thirdly, pursuing your passion does not guarantee success or prosperity. Often what we like or are passionate about isn't necessarily what we're good at by nature, and this will be a crucial factor for the next step. Status, the virus of the job market. When choosing a career, we make the serious mistake, and I've made this mistake myself, of prioritizing titles over tasks because they are glamorous or romanticized by Hollywood movies or fictional stories. But beware, the reality is very different. Lawyers, notaries, doctors, surgeons, bankers, all of these jobs that we see in movies or series are not as exciting or passionate in real life. I can tell you this firsthand because I have people very close to me who work in these fields, and it's not all that glitters is gold. Beware, it's not all rosy. A scientific study I found shows that what truly gives us personal satisfaction and fulfillment is not how prestigious a job is, nor is it the salary, but the person we become while doing that job. When you're good at certain skills, you have the opportunity to serve society or a company with these skills. You have a greater impact. Your recognition increases. And as your recognition increases, your responsibilities in an institution or organization also increase, along with your salary. Hence, you feel more useful, and ultimately, your personal satisfaction increases. It's like a virtuous cycle of progress that begins with identifying your innate skills and enhancing them. Let's move on to the next step, professional capital. The key to being the best. There's a phrase, a life principle that I repeat very often religiously. Don't focus on being the best, focus on being unique. To illustrate this concept, I'd like to introduce the term professional capital. Professional capital encompasses all those innate skills you have in your arsenal of tools, talents, and more that you dedicate yourself to enhancing. Why? With the goal of feeling special and solving problems like no one else. That is, feeling unique in the job market. There are a series of skills that will never become obsolete, even with the emergence of artificial intelligence and robots. These are skills that will keep you protected. But first, as professional capital, you will need to develop your unique skills such as communication or problem-solving skills. These are general skills or unique skills in your specific niche. Secondly, it's crucial to develop your network of contacts, people to whom you can offer value and who can assist you in case of emergency or need. Thirdly, it's essential to develop credentials, not only official academic credentials and official degrees, but also credentials in terms of unique projects that make you stand out for your practical experience and problem-solving ability. It's also important to develop personal values such as rigor, excellence, integrity, and diligence. These are values not often found in the job market. Lastly, it's crucial to develop a financial cushion. Having a financial cushion or emergency fund gives you the mental space and freedom to choose the best job opportunity and not rush to the first offer out of necessity. This is an undervalued factor, but very important. Many of you might be saying, hey, but I have a family or kids. I don't have that much time to develop my professional capital. Let me tell you that there is some excuse in that because it's been scientifically proven that the power of consistency can outdo anyone with much free time. By dedicating just 20 minutes a day religiously and consistently over a year, you can make significant progress in a skill that will make you stand out in the job market. Just 1 year of investing 20 minutes daily in developing a skill that makes you special can skyrocket your professional projection to unimaginable levels. Of course, it won't be easy. It requires daily discipline for those 20 minutes. But there is one skill that is extremely important to develop if you want to stand out and have exceptional professional capital, and that is speaking English fluently. Many people understand English, but very few can communicate fluently and articulately in English. And companies seek this desperately like pearls, diamonds, or gold that needs to be polished. When you learn to communicate and speak English fluently, you immediately stand out among the masses. Moving on to the next step, which will be the attributes of the perfect job. You ever wondered why we love video games so much? Video games have 4 crucial characteristics. Number 1, freedom to play. 2, clear missions. Number 3, variety of missions. And 4, constant feedback, meaning continuous evaluation of our work and results. Have you ever wondered why it's so important to define the ideal job for our situation? And above all, what are the attributes that make a job an ideal job? Many people think directly about salary, but this is a big mistake. This scientific study, led by Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner and author of the famous book Thinking, Fast and Slow, shows us the opposite. As our salary increases, our happiness also increases. But there is a point where it levels off, like a logarithmic function. If I'm not mistaken, it's been a while since I've done math. It eventually plateaus. And no matter how much more money we make, our happiness doesn't increase. That's why salary should be a crucial aspect to consider. Important, yes, but not crucial. Having more money doesn't always make us happier at our workplace. Some people will think of a job with little stress, but science doesn't tell us this. Stress in a reasonable proportion is very satisfying for your professional career and personal development, as indicated by this graph. As long as our job requires skills that are challenging but still within our reach, and that the workload pushes us a bit towards productive stress rather than toxic stress, we won't get bored. Balancing competence and intensity without burnout is where stress can be productive and satisfying for our development. So, if it's neither salary nor lack of stress, what does science say about the attributes that make a job ideal? Science indicates that the first attribute is confidence. We need to feel that our skills can have some impact or solve some problem. Second, autonomy. A job makes us happy when we can do it the way we want and develop our creative power and creativity. Third, it must have some tangible impact. Not just competence and autonomy, but solving some tangible problem. Fourth, we need to feel that we belong to a community. A community that, depending on the company, will be more or less developed. This is called company culture. The more developed the company culture, the more we feel part of a group of individuals who share the same values and principles. The more supported we feel, the more we belong to that community. And obviously, the happier and more satisfied we will be with our job. The future belongs to those who can adapt to new changes. Adapt or die. This will cause the fundamental idea of the labor market to collapse. What is this idea? That you will dictate your entire life to one career that's going to end. We need to accept that we will have to change careers more than once in our lives. You shouldn't fear this as long as you develop 4 crucial skills, among others, which will never become obsolete. No AI will replace them. These are skills I present in the lists I mentioned earlier. I explain them and provide tips on how to develop them. If you can leave a like, a comment, subscribe, and recommend this channel to 3 people you want to see improve in the job market, I would be thrilled. Thank you for your attention. Thanks for listening. A kiss, and see you in the next video.